All right, welcome back to Studyball. I want to wish everybody a Merry Christmas. I know it's a little bit early, but this will be the last Studyball that I have before Christmas. So hope everybody has an unbelievable holiday season, unbelievable Christmas with your family. If you're traveling, stay safe. But God bless all of you. Appreciate you following me here on QB Confidential or being a part of QBConfidential.com or whatever that may be. So Merry Christmas to everybody. All right, I had a lot of people over the last couple of weeks say, why don't you do a study ball on Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes and show us really what they wanted me to show you is that those guys aren't perfect either. And it's true. No quarterback in the NFL plays perfectly. But there are some guys that play more perfectly, and there are some guys that overcome some of their struggles a little bit better. But nonetheless, there's always opportunities to teach off of everybody. So did Josh Allen earlier in the week. Hope you guys enjoyed that one. So let's do Patrick Mahomes right now. I tweeted earlier this week that he may have the best feel for the game that I've ever seen. And it's hard to describe what feel is, but it's just the understanding, the spatial understanding, the ability to see and feel guys on the field and understand based on his concepts who is going to come open and win. It allows him to anticipate. It allows him to get the ball out quickly. Just a lot of fun stuff to watch when you watch him play. So let's dive into the tape against the Texans. Let's take a look at Patrick Mahomes and some of the things that he does that's just really, really special. All right, so here we go with Patrick Mahomes. Okay, so these are the kind of things that I'm talking about. So we're going to run a naked bootleg, and we're going to have the corner route over the top, and then we're going to have somebody go to the flat, and of course we're going to have the naked over. Okay, so typical naked concept. All right, we come out, and we always like to think of this short to high, but we're really coming out to see the flat defender out here. So I just want you guys to watch this defender right here. This is the kind of feel that I'm talking about. Comes out, eyes on the right guy. Okay, now look what the defender does. Okay, right there. See it? He's got his hips perpendicular to the line of scrimmage, so that's the first thing. And then he opens his hips right here to turn to go to the deep guy, okay? Now, Travis Kelce still inside the corner right there, so he doesn't have leverage quite yet, but Patrick's looking at this corner and looking at his body language, okay? It's body language, not always about position, body language. His hips open to turn and go back to the corner, and as soon as that happens, look, ball's out. Just unbelievable feel. You read the body language. He turns and opens. Get the ball out to the underneath guy. Get yourself a completion. Quarterbacks, know where your eyes need to be. Find the defender. Let the defender tell you where to go with the football. Great ones, all do it. Right here, opens, boom, ball's out. As soon as he opens his hips, knowing he can't cover both of them. Okay, so here's our concept here. We're going to come, it's what we call 7 route, a corner, call it 722. 2 and a 2, 2 unders. Okay, on the backside, we're going to run a corner route, and then we're going to run a choice route. Here, and this guy's got the choice to break out or break in. Okay, so I want you guys to watch. Interesting because as tight end goes in motion here, they've got a guy that chases him. So a lot of times when we see that kind of motion and we go one way and come back to the other side, we think that it's man coverage there. Okay, so think it's man coverage by the way they rotate. Now this gives me a little heads up because he's a long ways from this guy if he's playing man-to-man coverage. So that gives me a little heads up. But this is a great concept over here from getting man-to-man. I got a runaway right there. Run away, run away. I like that against man. Okay? On the snap, what do? Okay? On the snap, they're not playing man. They're playing zone. They're playing a cover 2 zone here, corner up tight, okay, and the safety back, and then a quarters coverage over to this side. All right? And so this is what's so important. And this is what's tough about playing the quarterback position. You thought it was man, but you always have to verify on the snap. So on the snap, I've got to be able to see and read this coverage. Otherwise, this is where the defense wins, because remember, we've got a corner route going here. All right, that's not going to be open because we've got a corner sitting on the outside playing a deep quarter that's going to cover it. Okay, notice on top of that, we've got two defenders inside. Two defenders inside to that side. So with two defenders inside, that means if we have this guy going inside, there's a defender there to cover it. We got this guy going inside, we've got another defender out there to cover it. So not the best play to a quarters look over there because they've got guys sitting in every window and every zone that we're attacking. On the backside, they've got cover two. Good concept against cover two. Coming out here and running the choice. And then very similar to what we saw on the naked, it becomes a high-low off the corner on the backside. So front side, you see it. Now they don't play it great. This guy's sitting out there to take the outside one. This guy's here, but he's starting to drop with depth, but he held it off long enough, and you see the corner sitting out there for the outside one. So nothing's really coming open right now, all right? Now take a look at the bottom. Bottom, just like we talked about, you're going to ultimately get a high-low right here. He's dropping off, easy completion underneath. If he were to come up, then you see the space that you would have for this corner over the top. So I like the high-low back here better against a cover two shell when you've got quarters up top. All right, so again, as I said, nobody's perfect. Tough to see. Tough to see as they run back to this after the pre-snap look, but nice job here as he's trying to buy some time. And again, nice job opening up to the outside. He just happens to get hit here and is not able to get this throw and get a completion right here. But this is what's tough about playing the quarterback position. Think it's man, boom, they run back to zone. Now I've got to be ready to see and understand this whole concept in my mind in a second, understand where I have to go with the football, and sometimes you just don't go to the right spot, trying to make up for it as a guy like Patrick Mahomes can do quite often. Really like this concept that they ran right here, okay? So this concept is Travis Kelce on the backside, and he's going to run a dig route, okay? Then we're going to have the back that's going to come down and come underneath here. We're going to have an influence up over the top. So if you watched the Josh Allen video that I did, the first play that I showed on there, there was a curl backside with this deep influencer over the top of it. Same kind of idea here. They're trying to get the backside corner to jump the in, and then you possibly have a big shot over the top. But then they add a nice little nuance here where it's kind of a lean in, and they're going to run a high angle corner over the top. And then out here, they're going to run what we call a pivot. Start inside and then pivot back to the outside. So we get a high-low opportunity there, and we get basically a three-level high-low to the backside. Really, really like this concept. So for me, first thing I'm going to do is look backside. Soon as I have this guy in a press coverage on the backside, so I don't have to wait to see if the corner is going to jump Travis Kelce. He's already jumping Travis Kelce basically because he's running press. So my first look is going to be right here off of what this safety does. This safety goes and jumps him. Well, then I got to work back to the top. That safety doesn't jump him and just gets depth. That's where I'm going to look first because I know the backside coverage is down. All right, so you see that? There you go. You got your opportunity with all this space over here to take that if you want it. Safety got depth. See, the corner is on top of Travis Kelce. Great opportunity right there. But we get man-to-man coverage, so we could use that to the backside if we want. But we like this too. If I get man-to-man coverage and I'm going to lean and run the corner with the free safety in the middle of the field, that's a great option as well. And I can always recover late to this pivot if we don't win. So good man-to-man beaters across the board. So in this particular case, Patrick decides to stay front side with it, which you can understand, right? There's nobody outside this hash. There's all kinds of space here, all kinds of space here. Really like the play concept on both sides. Just a little bit more patient, okay? Like he's already ready to throw it, and he's really good at anticipation. But all I would say is there's not pressure on him. He's got a nice pocket right there, and this guy with man-to-man coverage, you just want to see where he sets his angle coming out of the corner before you release it if you have that opportunity. So here, lets it go just a little bit early. Doesn't know that quite the angle he's going to come out on. I like this angle, what we call, if he's even, he's leaving. If you've got a corner route and you're even with the defender, you're leaving and you go into the high pylon to go get a touchdown. If he got to this point, okay, because again, see, defender is underneath him, go get your high angle, even leaving. If that defender was high on him, then we would expect him to come out and flatten this off. So Patrick wants to see that he's high on him here and going to take a high angle, but he anticipates and tries to throw it a little early and causes a missed opportunity for a huge play. All right, you know I love details here. Details, details, details. So we're going to run double hitches on the backside. And Patrick's going to end up throwing this hitch back here, which I really like, and I'll talk about that in a second. But I really want to talk about this concept right here. So this is a concept in my playbook that I call poppy. Okay, so it's a double pop combination on the outside, which again are these 5-yard pops. And then the poppy part of it is an adjustment to something that we kind of saw earlier, where normally this guy will run a corner, something I call popcorn, pops with a corner, and then poppy is the adjustment to that, where we're not going to send that Y to the corner. The Y is going to go down the middle of the field, okay? And so the idea is if we get split safeties here, all right, we want to high-low the inside defender, the Mike linebacker, and see if we can get a shot down the middle of the field, okay? So eyes there, okay? You see the idea, what we're trying to do there, and you see where the high-low opportunity is right here. All right, now let's go back and let's teach a little bit. So idea is, what I like to do is I like to push this guy at a little bit of an angle outside, never losing leverage on the safety, but a little angle to the outside. Why do you like to do that, Kurt? Okay, 2 things. First thing, I like to go at that angle because what it does is the Mike backer thinks when we start to widen that that receiver is going to go out to somebody else that's playing outside of him. So he kind of loses the engagement with that player when we widen. All right, so that's one of the reasons I like to widen. The other reason I like to widen is because if that Mike linebacker sees me widen, sometimes he'll widen with me. So he widens, and all that does is help to open up this middle window that I'm trying to attack on this particular play. So I'm widening for those 2 purposes. A third purpose that I can widen for is if we happen to have man-to-man and I widen here, it helps me at times to get a little bit of a rub off of that defender that's playing man-to-man on my number 2 receiver. So 3 different reasons why I like to widen. This is zone right here, so I'd like to widen this a little bit, keeping that leverage, then coming back. But the real key to this play are the other 2 guys, the 2 pops, okay? So you're going to watch Travis Kelce here, and what I don't like about this is Travis Kelce comes all the way in here and runs his pop inside the hash. Okay, so if I'm running this and we're trying to hit that throw inside the hash and I'm running a pop inside the hash, where's it going to take the Mike linebacker? Going to take him inside the hash. So now you'll see as we do this, you'll see what? Look at this. This is the throwing lane that Patrick has right here to try to hit this guy. What's he got to do if he's going to throw this? He's got to throw it over Travis, and he's got to throw it over the Mike linebacker and then beat the safety that's sitting back here. That's a tough throw. You want to be able to drive this throw if at all possible. So what I would like to see them do here is I'd like to see Travis run his pop out here in between those 2 linebackers. Why do I want him outside? Because again, we're trying to influence that Mike linebacker. So if we influence the Mike linebacker with width, so if I run my route outside of him and he's got to go and get to the pop to cover it, he is now, once again, widened this area right here. So now Patrick Mahomes can drive the throw in there, okay? So I'd like to go in between those guys, not inside this guy. Go in between or come and run it outside the Mike linebacker and force him to have to move and get width to cover you. If he doesn't and he just gets depth here, Now you put yourself in a great position to catch the football because we're putting all the pressure on the Mike linebacker. And when we run this, you notice that the inside receiver is at a different area of the field than Travis Kelce would be. So now we've got distance between us. We're attacking two different zones instead of the same zone. By the same token, we would want the outside guy to stay wide on his pop. So we go pop, pop, and then we go here. All right? So now what you see is we're attacking three different zones here. We're attacking this zone, and this zone. All right? So as we go back here, we're attacking those three different zones. How many defenders do we have to really cover it? We have two. So that becomes the key. We got to force movement and force pressure on the defense. So if we have this route and this Mike linebacker wants to chase and take the guy down the middle, all the pressure is on this guy. Does he want to cover Travis or does he want to cover Pacheco on the outside? All right, so now the pressure is on him. If the Mike linebacker wants to widen to Travis, we get the guy down the middle. If this Mike backer wants to get depth and this guy wants to widen, now we get Travis in between them. So now we're creating spacing and movement by the defenders. That's how we win on offense, is we want to create movement. When they move, they open up zones and we attack them right here, right? We don't have great spacing here. So this Mike linebacker is in a great position to cover both of them. Now the Sam linebacker squeezes in. Otherwise, he could fall to the outside and we would cover ourselves up right here. But Patrick does a nice job realizing the spacing's not bad as he's looking left, doesn't like it, comes back as this corner's off, takes the hitch to the outside. Nice awareness, nice job getting through it and having a plan if things don't work out for you front side. All right, it's a great job right here. So we're going to run, we call wrap back here, or wrap 4, and we're going to run a hook with Travis Kelce. On the front side, we're going to run an influence down the middle, we're going to run a curl, and we're going to run a flat. All right, so normally if I see quarters coverage, 1, 2, 3, 4, okay? Normally, if I see that, I'm going to probably read it to the front side and read the high-low and this flat to curl, okay? I'm normally going to read it there because in quarters coverage, with this in coming on the backside, you always worry about this guy jumping that in and being in a position to take that away, okay? Now, they've got this running through there, so if you read it backside and that safety jumps the in, you got a chance to hit this over the top. I can live with that if you're saying that. If you're saying, hey, I don't believe this safety is in a position to cover the influence, so now I'll read it backside and I'll read it off of that safety first and then go from there, okay? That's a possibility, but in quarters, I just worry about this safety jumping the influence, this guy jumping the in, but we know we've got a great situation here with the curl flat, could read it back there. But here's what Patrick does. He comes back, and he reads this guy first, okay? He feels like these safeties are deep enough, which they are. Like, they're deep enough that they're not going to get involved in the in route right here. So now once I have that, I'm going to read that Mike linebacker. That Mike linebacker pushes over to this side. So technically, if he pushes over, he could get under the curl, and the outside backer could cover the flat. But when he pushes over, what's it do? You hear me talk about it all the time. In zone coverage, what do we want to do? We want to put one guy in conflict. That guy right there is in conflict, okay? Does he get deep and leave Travis Kelce open on the hook? Does he stay engaged on the hook and give us the in? But it all starts with the ability to see the Mike linebacker. Mike linebacker turns and moves. Patrick understands that. He comes back to the other side. Defender stays down on Travis Kelce. Great throw. Boom. Timing, beating the Mike linebacker with the throw. Okay, so you'll see the other side of it though. Let's say he holds him right there, right? Flat defender. You see the big curl opportunity right here if he wants it to that side too. But it's all off of that Mike linebacker. If I feel he's getting in the way and moving hard enough and fast enough to take away the curl, now I work backside. Okay? If I feel like he's settling in the middle and he's not getting a lot of width and he's getting caught up with this influence, now I can read it out the front side, high, low. But again, it's a great concept. Concept has answers against everything. Patrick does a nice job of working through those answers and making a great throw on time to his wrap in. All right, I love this play. Okay, so this play here, we're going to run a post, an over. We're going to wrap this back here. We're going to make the play fake, and then we're going to drop our back into the flat. Okay, so this is the play everybody runs, post over. We call it, always a flat underneath that. And so idea is always is I'm going to peek back here. If there's a safety in the middle of the field, this post is really X'd out. Okay, not taking it. So then we go from there, and it really becomes an over flat combination. But here's the key, okay? Seeing the big picture, the feel for the game that I talk about with Patrick Mahomes. Here's what I understand. I understand this corner's off. So this corner has to cover the deep area of the field somewhere. I notice that these linebackers, as we motion here, they stay tucked in here in the box. Okay, so what I know on this play is this guy is ultimately going to be my read. As I go here and here, it's going to be all off of that linebacker right there. All right, so we're going to make the play fake here, and I want you to watch. As we make the play fake, Patrick looks to me like he's looking down the field here. Okay, I don't know if he is. I don't know if he's glancing at that backside back. I don't know exactly where he's looking, but it looks to me like he's verifying that this safety's going back to the middle of the field, and then he's going to work over here, as I said, to this high-low. But what I love is, look how fast he gets this out to the flat. There's some type of recognition and understanding that this guy who's going to be his read works to the strong side right here and is going to drop his responsibility in the flat. So I'm not trying to overcomplicate it. I see it. As soon as I get back and hitch, yeah, this is going to be open for a touchdown too. But he understands I don't need that. I understand and feel this defender squeeze inside, take the easy one, take the completion, don't have to get the big play, take the right play. Gets the ball out to his back, and here we go. We get a 20-yard touchdown on a flat route. Why? Because of the recognition, the understanding, and the feel for the game. Get the ball out to the right guy and let your playmakers make plays for you. Really, really love that play. Don't always have to make a big throw to get a big play. Hear that, coaches. Hear that, quarterbacks. You don't always have to make a big throw to make a big play. Interesting concept, and I've seen the Chiefs run this a couple times. So they're going to run a concept where they run, okay, levels over here. Okay, so similar to what we were just seeing. Instead of a post, they're going to run a corner route over here, but they bring in three guys over here. So it looks like the concept is coming this way. And then they're going to run a pivot and a corner back to this side. So they're trying to get everybody to think we're coming to the left-hand side. So the action starts and it makes it look like we're going to come this direction. Because again, you see it. Watch all these guys. These guys all start to come this direction. They're trying to get the defense to move that direction. And then they're going to try to squeeze one of these things out the front side. Really good concept. We've got levels on the back side, and we've got 2-on-1 on the front side. And Patrick is pushed out of the pocket to the right-hand side. Okay, and you see as he gets pushed out of here, nothing really happening. We're going here. We're coming out. We've got defenders all over the place. Again, feel and understanding. He understands that everybody else is coming this way. So when he doesn't have anything, his throws are to the backside. Now, we don't encourage throwing late across the middle. But what Patrick understands as he's coming out here is everybody moves with him. It's what always happens. Quarterback rushes out of the pocket. Everybody wants to move that direction because they're normally going to throw it that direction. And he recognizes the guys that are wide open on the backside. Okay? Again, don't necessarily recommend it. You got to see what's going on. But this is where Patrick Mahomes can be different. Stops, puts on the brakes, understands he's got guys backside, and makes a great throw back here to Travis Kelce on the backside. Just making a play based off of his feel and talent for the game. Again, feel. Coming off the play action. Okay, coming off the play action. See it right here. Same idea, same concept. It's a post. It's an over. They're going to have a flat coming over here. So we're trying to get the levels over there. All right, we're going to have a tight end here that kind of chips, hesitates, and comes out that way. Okay, I'm not really sure why he goes to that side. Normally, you don't really need him there, but you're going to see why it's so important here. So he's coming off of this. If he doesn't have pressure, I think he's probably going to throw this post here for a touchdown coming off there. But you notice that as soon as he gets back, this backer here doesn't have anybody that's responsible for him. I'm not sure if the tight end's supposed to stay on him, but he went here and then took off because that linebacker, you'll notice that linebacker kind of hesitates, hops, and then he hits it late. And so if he's supposed to be picked up by the tight end, which very well should have been, he isn't here. And so Patrick, again, have a plan. Understand what your options are. This guy's running free. I can't stop and try to make a play. I don't want to take a sack. Where's my only outlet? It's right here. Get the ball out of your hands hot, okay? I don't care what you get. Maybe you get 3 yards. Doesn't matter. Get the ball out of your hands. Don't take a sack. Don't try to always make the big play. Have an answer. Get it out. We pick up a first down on this hot check down because of his awareness, his feel, his understanding of what is going on a particular play, and just taking what he has to take depending on what the defense does. Okay, another one coming out here. So this is a naked out here to this side where they're going to free release this back. Eyes. Where are his eyes? His eyes aren't turning around looking at this back. His eyes are looking out here. I want to see what's happening out here. I want to see if anybody's coming outside where they're going to pressure me as soon as I get back because I'm trying to run a naked bootleg. So I'm going to peek to this side and see if I have pressure. What's he got? He's got pressure. Sees the guy coming down. His eyes are on him. He sees 5 coming free. Awareness. Feel. Boom. Now turn. Love it. Turn your hips. Turn your hips and be able to flip the ball out there and get it to your back. And let's go get a big play off of a check down or a short pass once again. But it's all about the feel and the understanding. He's seeing this rotation. He's seeing this all happen before the snap. So he comes out. I'm not going to peek at the back right here. I'm going to peek and see if this guy brings pressure. He continues to come. I'm spatially aware of what I need to do right here. I'm going to flip my hips. I'm going to find a way to get the ball out. Don't have to be overcomplicated. Just get it out to the right guy, but understand where your issues are. Have vision on them. Boom, go get yourself a big play. All right, a little impatient in the pocket right here, all right? So, again, these guys are so talented, and they want to make so many plays on the move because they're so good at it. I'd like to see Patrick kind of hold in here and play a little bit more on time in the red zone, kind of like Josh, but I understand it's hard down here. You don't always have the perfect play down here. A lot of times it does come down to guys making plays and the quarterback buying time and finding somebody open. But we're going to run this concept down here, kind of what we saw before. It's like a choice route. It's going to turn into an out and a corner. All right, he did such a great job earlier of reading the body language. But you see, right now he's already turned. He's already out of there and going to try to make a play. I'd like to see him just stay in here and do what he did earlier. Look, see, this guy's hips. This guy's hips are perpendicular to the line of scrimmage, and they're turned to cover what's deep. Okay, it's why we can see the 25. He's almost turning his back to Patrick, which lets us know he is not going to be cover the out right here. He's not going to be able to cover it. So he turns, boom, right there. There's your completion right there. On time, get it out of your hands. Don't always have to try to make an extra play. Read that body language. Did it so nicely early, got off of it a little bit quick here. But again, the good thing about Patrick is he's got a plan. I get off of that, I'm going to come back, and I'm going to make sure I get to my next guy. Boom. Okay, he's not trying to do too much. Gets off of it. He's impatient. Go find yourself a completion down here in the red zone. Does a nice job working inside. Body language. Quarterbacks, you can't practice it enough. Coaches, you can't practice it enough with your quarterbacks. Put guys out there. Force them not just to see where they are spatially, but to see their hips. Their hips will tell us what they can cover and what they cannot cover. So turn your hips perpendicular to the line of scrimmage. Hard to cover anything outside of you, right? Turn your back where you're trying to cover down the field. Impossible to cover anything underneath you. Keep your hips flat to the line of scrimmage. Now it's tough to cover things over the top of you, but you got to be able to see it. You got to know where you're looking, quarterbacks, and you got to be able to recognize those little things. All right, the little sprint right here is just a great throw. I just wanted to show this because it's a great throw right here. He's letting it go right now. The ability to anticipate. Patrick has it. Anticipate. This is what he's looking at. Gets jammed up in here. We're going to run kind of a little comeback right here, but great recognition that I got to throw it early because bodies are coming over. I got to throw it early. Got to throw it outside and put it where only my guy can get it. Now, that was a great catch by MVS, no question. But it's the ability to know I can't wait any longer, right? Guys are coming. Bodies are coming. I've got to let this go on time, but I'm not going to put the ball in harm's way. I'm going to anticipate and put it where my guy can get it. And here guy goes and gets it. Great touchdown, great throw, great timing and anticipation by Patrick, which is something you have to have down in the red zone. You don't have it in the red zone, you're late, you're lost when it comes to the NFL red zone because everything closes so quickly. Love this play design right here. So you're going to see both of these guys release inside. So it looks very similar to what we were talking about before, that we're going to run this concept. We're going to run one on an over and one on a shallow, which is, again, a common concept. But they both start to the inside to give that appearance to the defense. The defense is playing man-to-man. They think they're going to go inside. Then off of that, here, and then they're going to come back to the corner. Travis is going to push like he's going to run a shallow and then come back to the flat. So again, it's going to be one of those plays where we get that high-low with a corner or an over and a flat. I just love the appearance because sometimes you have to give the defense the appearance of something and do the counter to it. So we're going to have this play in our playbook, and we're also going to have this play in our playbook because the appearance of them right off the snap looks exactly the same. Give the presentation of the exact same thing to the defense and then be able to do two different things. That's how we defeat defenses and defeat man-to-man coverage. So they make it look like they're going. This guy starts to run over the top. Boom. Travis comes right back out. And again, Patrick, recognition. He comes back here. He sees this guy caught up. When he gets back to that side, he feels the flat popping open. A lot of guys have to get back here. We've got to find the bodies. We've got to read it. Instead of coming back, knowing where your eyes need to go and feeling that Travis Kelce is popping out of there on the flat, I don't have to wait and see if the deep one's open. I've got that space. Put the ball on your playmaker. Go get another 18 yards on a short throw. All right. Here we're going to run a go. We're going to run a hook. We're going to run a hook. And on the backside, we're going to run what we call a 7 stop. Okay, so it's like he's running a corner route and running a stop. And then we're going to work out here. All right, so idea is we got the go on the outside. And if we happen to get these defenders over here, I like running this a little bit better with a comeback over here. And then a hook and a hook with the same idea, right? That would give us 3 underneath receivers technically against 2 underneath defenders. Problem on this play is they only run 2 here. So we've got 1 defender to cover this, 1 defender to cover this. We run this on a go route so that guy can cover that as well. So we don't really have anything over to that side. But Patrick's going to look to that side initially, see if maybe he can work one of these guys because sometimes this guy's responsibility is to go outside. If he overruns that, now we get a 2-on-1 off of that guy. But Patrick looks over to that side, recognizes that he doesn't get that. See, this guy turns and falls back here. I don't have him moving to the outside like I want him, so I'm going to reset here. That's what I love Patrick does here. Watch it. So he's set to throw it to that side on time. He doesn't have it. He pops back and resets. As he's popping back to reset, he's able to find the underneath defender here and see if he's got his window. Great job right here, popping back, seeing it, getting the ball out on time. Great throw, right? So now if I have this play and this guy's running a go route, I'm probably going back here right now, okay? Because I know I've got the corner off. He's going to stay high on my 7 stop. I know I'm going to get an isolation 2-on-1 off of that guy. I'm probably coming back there right now. But thing that you love about good quarterbacks, guys like Patrick, is they can look and verify front side. If I can get this guy to push there, man, I'm going to have an easier, quicker completion to that side. If I don't get him to push and he holds in there like he does here, boom, reset, know where I'm going on the backside, and go get yourself a backside completion. Okay, again, the timing. So really what we're running here is we're running mirrored routes. So this is what we call 787. Okay, 7s are the corners. The 8 is the middle read right here. So middle's open, he takes it down the middle, middle's closed. He's gonna run what we call a basic or an in route right there. But I just want you to watch the timing of this. Ball's out. Okay, ball's out. Ball's out. Look at his receiver. Okay, his receiver isn't even close to coming out of his route. He's breaking down 3 or 4 steps, turning outside. Look at the ball. Boom. As soon as he turns around, ball's right on top of him. Just unbelievable throw. Put it all together. See it, feel it, timing, understanding, accuracy, quick hitch, ball's out, right on the money. Just stuff that you can't beat. You're going to be on time. You make the right reads like that. You're accurate like that. It is tough for a defense to do anything in those types of situations. Okay, so here's another play. Remember I talked about popcorn. All right, so we've got a corner, we've got a pop, and we're going to have a swing route or a flat route over there. So that's what we call popcorn. Pop, corner, flat. All right, to that side. Backside, we're going to run that same wrap combination. So the hook and then the wrap in over the top of it. Okay, so we get corner off to this side. A lot of times, I like to read this pop to flat right there. Okay, because corner is going to be dead once again. And most times, I'm going to beat this guy with the throw. So it really comes off of this outside defender. Does he go to the flat? I'll take the pop right behind him. He stays in and covers the pop. You kick it to the flat right there. So just watch that portion of it. Okay, so right there, boom. See it? Okay, so if we're reading out the front side, this guy widens to the flat. There's our pop throw right there. So that's normally where I like to read this play, is when I get the corner off and I can read it to that side. But once again, Patrick is reading this guy. So I always talk about this in QBConfidential.com, is on any particular play, you have to know who your biggest problem is on a play. So I know the corner is going to take that. And as I said, I'm going to try to isolate this guy, okay, inside out off of that guy. But who can take this play away? Well, if I run a swing and this guy runs to the swing, I told you I would hit the pop right behind it. But who could possibly take this away? This guy, if he pushes through there, that Mike linebacker pushes through there, now they're in a great position, once again, to cover this whole play. Got a corner sitting back there in the deep third for the corner route. I've got an outside backer to take the flat. I've got an inside backer that can take the pop. So technically, if we are on time and we don't beat the Mike linebacker with the throw, they have a chance on this particular coverage to cover this play. All right? I always like to think that if this Mike linebacker starts in there, there's no way he's going to beat me to that pop route. I'm going to beat him with the throw every single time if my spacing is good on the outside. But needless to say, if I know he's a problem and I feel him on the snap work that way, then what do I know? If he's got to get all the way out there to cover the pop, who's covering his responsibility down the middle of the field? Nobody, right? Nobody. So Patrick looks at him right off the bat, and what's he do? He moves hard that direction. Now, he doesn't move quite hard enough because he's doing a good job of reading the eyes of Patrick Mahomes. Patrick goes that way, he moves that way. Patrick's eyes come backside, he hesitates right there. But he already is out of position because Patrick moved him that way. Patrick's going to work back to this side. Once again, read that underneath defender. He widens and grabs Travis Kelce. There's my throw right behind the Mike linebacker because I got the Mike linebacker to move. Bingo. There's the throw. Love it. Understand where you're going. Understand where your problem is. Understand who you can work with your eyes. Work the Mike linebacker to the front side hash. Now I open up that window to the backside hash and I go get myself a big play. I look at that Mike linebacker. He stays tucked in here. Now I know this guy's in a bind. He can't cover both of those guys. Understand who you're looking at. Understand who gives you a problem on your different concepts. Allows you to be able to understand as soon as the ball snapped where I'm going. What's he doing? What is he voiding? What can I attack on a particular play? Great job here by Patrick. Seeing him move outside and then coming back to his backside to take advantage of what he voided. All right, this was in overtime. So almost in field goal range right here, and this put them out of field goal range. I know they ended up winning the game anyways, but we're back to the same play that we talked about earlier. That's why I wanted to show this. Okay, so we've got the in here. We've got the influence here. We've got this corner route there, and then the pivot. So you remember that one. He threw it early the last time. I think it was to MVS right here, and he ended up missing it. It would have been a big play. All right, so one thing I'll always tell you quarterbacks is you still have to read every play individually. Okay, so he got this the last time. So the natural thing is to say, well, I'm going to go right back to that throw. Okay, because I had it and I missed it. They're going to play it the same way. And you see, they're playing man-to-man coverage once again. So as I told you before, looking at that first. That cornerback is down or that safety is down, cover the tight end tight. It's going to be a huge window back here. Doesn't mean there's not going to be a huge window over here. I just always think because of how they're running this corner route, right? We said he's going to go inside and then run the corner route, that he's going to leave the defender outside of him. So to me, better leverage is if we get inside here, now I'm going to get the proper leverage plus the quicker throw and the easier throw because I'm not throwing it over the top of somebody. I'm throwing it to open space. So on this particular play, in overtime, got what I want. He's down. I would love to see Patrick make his first read because this one happens faster. This influence right here, okay? Then if he doesn't have that, he can work back to this deep corner that takes a little bit longer to happen and a little bit longer for me to throw it. So you see right here, as Patrick comes back, if he just sets right there, he's got himself a big play, possibly a touchdown right out there. The initial read says safety's down. He is not dropping deep to cover that area. So what am I looking at? Once I see that, what am I looking at? Look at the free safety. Free safety gets depth. See what the relationship is here. Oh, he's inside. Bingo. I'm going right there. I'm starting there. I got my first read based on the initial pre-snap look. Take it. Take it, take it. You're going to see right here, right? If he just throws it right there, oh my gosh. I think that's Watson right there. He is running by him. He's got a big play. It's set up. But he's going back to the play that he had earlier for the big play. Now it takes a little bit longer to develop and happen. And now as he's going back to throw it, right? Not only does it take longer to happen, what happens? He doesn't win as bad. The leverage is outside with the corner. So now you don't want to throw the corner route because you've lost leverage, even though the play is designed to kind of lose leverage and try to sell him across the field. But take your first one. Understand what your first one is. Understand what your easiest one is. Go get yourself a big play right there instead of just thinking back and going, oh, I had that one earlier in the game. I'm going to have it again. Always go through your reads, quarterbacks. Every play is different. Every play plays out differently. Get this guy down. Now, peek right here. See if you can get the easy one, the quick one first, and then work from there to this two-man combination there. If he does that, he probably throws a touchdown or a big play, sets him up for a field goal there instead of taking that big sack in that situation. All right, so there you go. You see why I love to watch Patrick Mahomes play. His great feel and understanding for what he's doing, where his eyes need to be, being able to read body language, being able to move guys and get the ball out on time. So many really good things that he does, but it's that feel. You play the position and you can play it well doing a lot of things. But I believe the players that have a great feel for the game, understand what they're seeing, the spatial awareness of when they come back somewhere, where the defenders are and who's popping open based on the concepts they have. That's really what separates guys. Even if they're not the most talented and can't run around and don't have the strongest arm, you have a spatial awareness and a feel for the game. You have a chance to be really, really special. But Patrick puts all of that together, and you saw that in the tape. All of that together. Understanding, right? Vision, feel, talent, all of those things combined make him, who I believe is the best quarterback in the National Football League. That's what makes him the best quarterback in the National Football League right now, is because he's got all that stuff, can put it all together. And even when he misses something, which inevitably he's going to miss some stuff, he can make up for it with the talent that only Patrick Mahomes has. So there's so much fun stuff to watch. That doesn't mean there's not things that we can't teach off, right? That doesn't mean there's not things that he can do better. That's the beauty of this game. I played it forever, and I never played the perfect game. These kind of things are in there all over the place. Coaching, Andy Reid's unbelievable coach, unbelievable play designer, but I still think there's things that they could do better on their play design to make it easier and more effective. So that's the beauty. It's a constant learning process, no matter whether we're playing or we're play designing, we're coaching, and that's why I love this game so much. That's why I have so much passion for this game. That's why I do these videos, is because I want to teach. I want to learn. I want to help other guys learn the game even better. So hopefully, as I've taken a couple of the best quarterbacks in the league in study ball this week, you've learned some things. You've learned to appreciate the talent of these guys and what they do really, really well. And then hopefully somewhere along the way, these tapes make it back to whomever it is on those teams that maybe they can learn and grow and get even better.